I had a conversation with someone about motivation at work this week, and it led to a bigger topic. So I wanted to share it in a quick little couple-minute video here. The original context of it was that they had lost motivation at work because a project they were working on was kind of deprioritized and pushed into the future, and they were hoping to launch it this year, but now it's looking like a 2024 project, and so they were kind of struggling with finding a reason to show up and do good work. And in that conversation, it went on for a good half hour or so, but the unlock there when we reached it was actually tied to farming. And I come from a farming background. My family in Poland, we're all farmers. I grew up on a farm all my summers. I've been around a bunch of farm conversations around the kitchen table, and specifically about the weather. And farmers have to deal with the weather, obviously. But what's interesting about the conversations and the way they behave around it is that they don't really get into the details of it. It's more just that this is what's happening, okay, and then they move on and they do something else. And it kind of reminded me of the situation where they're dealing with forces that are bigger than themselves and Mother Nature. And oftentimes at work, we're doing the same thing. There are forces inside companies or inside people's personalities that are above us and have control over our projects that simply are bigger than we can control. So the answer to dealing with them is not to rage and fight and strain against them, but rather to accept them and find out what you can do in the meantime. So when it comes to the farm, if they're waiting for the weather to change, or if there was something that happened where they just can't do the work that they wanted to, they can't plow or sow the fields, they find other things to do. So they sharpen their tools, they get ready for when the weather does change, they fix the house, they spend time catching up with family and friends, but they definitely don't strain against all those forces. And I thought that was kind of an interesting thing, because so much of what we do and so much of the stress that we experience, especially at work, is fighting and raging against things that really aren't in our hands. And if we sort of looked closer to us, what's kind of right in front of us, whether it's our team, some specific people, some self-development, we can probably find quite a bit to feel some motivation around. So just wanted to share that. Also, just as a reminder, this conversation came from these 30-minute kind of free sessions that I do. I just kind of open up a little bit of time on my calendar every week. So if you have things that are on your mind and you want to bounce them off of somebody else, feel free to book those. I'll put the link somewhere around this video. Okay, that's it. See ya.